So I'm going to perform task 7, which is going to be doing a heartworm test in-house. The test that we use at my job is the SNAP 4DX Plus. So this test is a combo test. It's going to have your heartworm, your anaplasma, your Lyme disease, and your ehrlichiosis all in one test. So it's a really helpful test if we need results quicker than sending it out to the lab. So first thing we're going to do, I put the request in through our computer system, so it's up on our VETT lab station. So I just need to transfer that information over to our IDEX SNAP test, or Snapshot DX test, which will run the test in-house for us. So I'm going to select my patient, tap run, and then the only test down here I need to select is the Snapshot DX test, because it's just a snap test, and then we're going to hit run. That's going to transfer the information over to the Snapshot DX. So again, we're going to select my patient, we're going to hit select, and then it says what kind of test it is. So again, it's the 4DX Plus, so we're going to say 4DX Plus, and then it's asking for my sample type, which I have right here in the dark green, which is going to be a whole blood sample. So I'm just going to say whole blood, and then next. And now we are good to run the test, so let me just get on my other glove, and then I'm just going to lower the camera a little bit so you get a better look at what I'm doing, and this will have for afterwards just to compare the results. So I'll put that over there. So, and again, once the results are done, it will automatically get sent into the patient record. Okay, so that should be good. We'll zoom in just a smidge. Okay, so the SNAP 4DX test has been sitting out for about 10 minutes now, so what I'm going to do is just going to open it up. And you'll be careful because you have your pipette in here. We'll put it on the paper towel to keep it as clean as possible. And then you have your 4DX snap test that I'll put on there as well. Put it in garbage. So, rule of thumb, oh, and also, very important or else the test will not work, you want to compare the conjugate number to the number on the actual bag. So for this, the lot number is CN221. And you want to make sure that the conjugate number matches CN221. So we're good to go. If it was a different number, it won't give you a result. So, general rule of thumb, you're going to do 4 drops of the conjugate. So the way I remember it is that it's 4 drops, so it's blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? I'll put the cap back on that. We're just going to put it down in this little holder, and then you use your pipette to get your blood sample. Again, it's in a dark green, and it's the patient's first name, last name, and the date, and it's the dark green top, so it's going to be whole blood. So you just take your pipette, you squeeze the top to suck out your sample, and you only need 3 drops of the blood, so red for blood. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll throw that over the garbage. Put my cap back on. So now what you want to do is you want to invert this about 5 times. So a gentle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what you want to do is you're going to pour your mixed blood with the conjugate into this little area down here while the test is laying flat. And as soon as you see that blood start to seep up into this little circle right here, is where you're going to snap this down to activate the test and put it into the Snapshot DX, which takes about 8 minutes to run. Okay, so again, what I'm going to do is open up the lid to put my sample over in the little window. You want to get out as much sample as possible, so I hit my hand on the counter a little bit. And now it's slowly going to go up the windows. So again, once you see it get into the circle, you're just going to want to snap your test down and put it into the snapshot. So let's see if we can try to zoom in just a little bit more. So as you can see, it's slowly filling up that window. Once it gets up to the circle, I'm just going to want to snap it. And again, the test, this takes a little bit because it takes a little while for the mixture to get up to the correct window before you can snap it. But again, it's a very useful test, and it only takes about 8 minutes to do. I feel like I should be in the picture, sorry. Just want to make sure I include everything so you can see. Alright, so it's filled up the bigger window. Now I'm just waiting for it to get in the little activation circle. And you want to keep your test flat because you don't want to mess up any of the results. Alright, and I'm starting to see it in that little window now. So I'm going to press down really hard and snap it. And we just are going to zoom back out. And then you just slide it in until you hear it click. And then it's processing the snap test. And then it's going to come up with a timer saying that it's going to take about 8 minutes for the test to process. So now that it went to that other screen, it's saying that we have 8 minutes to go. So I'm just going to take a moment, just let that run for 8 minutes, and then I'll come back just to go over the results to make sure that it gets put into the computer.